Good afternoon, everybody. This afternoon we have one of our B1 student. She's just finalized her level and she's doing her presentation this afternoon. Please introduce yourself and tell everybody what you're talking about today.
Well, good afternoon, teacher, and hello, everyone. My name is Joselyn Naranjo. I am a student of ILC Institute, and I am a student B1 level. Well, in this case, I would like to talk about learning styles. Well, when we are learning something, it's important to know what is the best way to learn, but what are learning styles? Well, in this case, I would like to explain you a little more about this topic. Learning styles are defined different ways in which students can learn. They are essential in learning a language because everyone is different. When we learn, our brains combine several methods to process information, and this helps us acquire the knowledge effectively. We can categorize learning styles into three. They are personal, sensory, and informational. Well, in this case, personal learning styles include interpersonal learners and intrapersonal learners. Well, in this case, I would like to explain you a little more about this type of learning in detail. Interpersonal learners, they prefer to work in groups, and also this can be considered as social learning. They prefer to work together and they can share their achievements. And intrapersonal learners, in this case, it's also called solitary learners. They prefer to study alone. They learn anytime, anywhere, they all read. Continue, we have sensory learning styles. In this case, include visual learners, auditory learners, and kinesthetic learners. Well, in this case, I would like to explain you a little more about this kind of learning styles in detail. First, visual learners. In this case, they receive information through images. They prefer to work with different images, and also visuals include images, infographics, charts and graphs, and other visual aids. And auditory learners, in this case, auditory learners prefer to learn something through listening. They learn when they are listening some podcasts or audiobooks. And finally, kinesthetic learners. In this kind of style, the learners prefer to work with movements with the parts of the body. They prefer to have a practical experience. Okay, continue. We have informational learning styles. They include linguistic learners and logical learners. Well, now I would like to explain you a little more about this type of learners. Linguistic learners, it called verbal learners. They learn something through reading and writing. They prefer to read a lot of books, something like that. And logical learners, the learners prefer to work with mathematical minds, and also they prefer to work with different areas of math. And conclusion, I would like to say something. When we learn something new, it's important to to know what learning styles is recommendable. And the best way to learn something is when we do something in a fun way. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Jocelyn.